I'm Joe Holt, and this is Tune In Geek Out. We're talking Thrones, y'all. Game of Thrones. It's 9 p.m. Monday night, the night after the season finale of Game of Thrones Season 7. And I did say it was going to be a spoiler alert, spoilery review. So if you haven't seen Season 7, if you haven't seen last night's episode, stop fucking watching right now. Like this is a bad move. If you're gonna keep watching this, I'm gonna spoil some shit for you. So last night's episode, the dragon and the wolf. The dragon and the wolf. Specifically, the dragon and the wolf boning, or should I say, the dragon and the dragon boning. Dem Thrones. So we started the season with Dragonstone. The entry on IMDb is Jon organizes the North's defenses. Cersei tries to even the odds. Daenerys comes home. Arya reminds the phrase, the North remembers. Sam adapts to life in Old Town, and the Night King makes his way south. Holy shit. That is the most simplistic explanation I've ever heard for a Game of Thrones episode. We'll start with Jon organizing the North's defenses. Winter is coming. If you haven't seen it, you should find it. The girls who play Sansa and Arya, Sophie Turner and Maisie Williams, did this hilarious carpool. I don't know if it's carpool karaoke or if it's just them in a car, but it's fucking hilarious. It's the two of them driving around. I think they're supposed to be singing, but instead they're just doing Game of Thrones jokes. And both of them attempt to do a Sean Bean impression, and it's gold. It's comedy gold. It's fucking classic. They do their own take of I think it's Baby Got Back. Oh my God, Becky, look at her butt. But it's very funny. If you haven't seen it, find it. I will make sure I comment it in the comments later if you're catching up, so you can watch the video. It's good. All right, moving on. Last night's episode, like I said, was called The Dragon and the Wolf, the culmination of the entire season. Again, IMDb says, a meeting is held in King's Landing. Problems arise in the North. I mean, that happened. That's true. That's literally like 3 seconds of last night's episode. Let's start with the best parts of last night, and then we'll work our way backwards to talk about the payoffs of some of the things that we've seen. The best part of last night's episode would have to be... Shit, do I have to pick one? I can't pick one. Top 5 best events of last night's episode. In no particular order. For now. The first would be, I mentioned it already, Dem Bones, the dragon and the wolf smashing. Finally, Jon Snow and Daenerys Targaryen bumped uglies, and yet it was beautiful. It was the beautifulest uglies ever. Yeah. I'm not attracted to men normally, and yet Kit Harington's ass. There's something to be said for Kit Harington's ass. I believe that is the ass that should be sitting on the Iron Throne. If you haven't seen the scene, the scene from last night, or if you haven't seen any of the screen grabs, they're all over the place today. Make sure you check them out because it's a wonder to behold. It's pretty damn amazing. Emilia Clarke and Kit Harington, Jon Snow, and Daenerys, respectively, are fantastic actors. I think they've both really come into their own in the last 3 seasons probably, when they started giving Daenerys the plot line of becoming kind of the freer of slaves, breaker of chains, in her lengthy title. Thank God on IMDb they do not list all of her titles. When they started giving her that arc, I felt like she, as an actress, started growing, and the character really started making leaps and bounds. With Jon Snow, you know nothing, Jon Snow. He was. Kit's always been a great actor. I feel like I'm saying a lot. Sorry, everybody. I feel like going back to season 1, Kit did a fantastic job as Jon. I was looking through a lot of the setup now that we know the truth behind Jon's heritage. Again, spoiler alert. Jon is a dragon. Jon is Aegon Targaryen, the son of Elia and I'm sorry, not Elia. Excuse me, I'm going to go over here. Lyanna Stark and dear Lord, what the hell was his name? Rhaegar Targaryen. In a twist that pretty much everybody saw coming, that some people have seen coming for 20 years in the books. Jon is the son. R plus L equals J. So Lyanna and Rhaegar together, a dragon and a wolf, a dire wolf. The dragon Rhaegar got annulled to his wife, which was so beautifully alluded to just a couple of episodes ago, with Samuel Tarly, my favorite, Samuel Tarly, his little girl Gilly. They were in Old Town a couple of episodes ago, and Sam is pissed off about his life in Old Town, and Gilly finds a writing from an old maester that says the marriage between Rhaegar and Martell was annulled, and that he was married to someone else. I don't think it says it, in a private ceremony, secret ceremony, and everybody, all the collective fans across the world went, "What the fuck? Seriously? Yeah!" I feel like this whole season was filled with those types of moments. The writers peppered in a lot of those kind of moments, thankfully so. I was speaking with somebody at work today who's on the 5th season right now. 5th season? 5th season, I think. 5th season. And they were catching me up on where they were at in the show. Joffrey had just died. Tyrion had escaped King's Landing by killing his father. And it made me realize it took us 5 seasons to get there. 5 seasons of just kind of fighting in the small area, or, maybe a couple of places. Daenerys is off in Essos, and we're in Westeros, up in the north, and then in King's Landing, and that's pretty much it. There's a few places here and there, River Run, that kind of thing, but for the most part, that's where the action takes place. And now I feel like everything is just smashing into each other. That it was so fast. This whole season went by so fast, and in a good way. I would love to hear from you. I see that it looks like one person has joined. Hi, Lynette. Hi. I hope school went well today. I don't think Lynette has caught up with the Game of Thrones show yet, but thanks for joining me. I'm sorry I'm spoiling things for you. Why the hell are you watching this? For the love of God, girl, get off! The call is coming from inside the house. You're too young to understand that, but someday you might. All right, I'm going to go back to talking about the episodes. So The Dragon and the Wolf, last night's episode. Holy shit. So top 5 moments. I listed the Dragon and the Wolf boning. It was a well done sex scene. I mean, tame by Game of Thrones standards. I remember in the first 3 or 4 seasons they used to call it online Game of Bones because there was so much boning, just sex all the time. I guess they rope you in with the sex and then they keep you there with the good stories and the great character development. So anyway, so you have the main character smashed. That's great. And one of my favorite characters to hate, Littlefinger, Peter Baelish, got his fucking throat slashed, which was a long time coming. Probably too long, some would say. Aidan Gillen is the actor's name. A fantastic actor. I think everything I've seen him in, including some bad like B movies in the 90s, early 2000s, he did a fantastic job with Littlefinger. From this kind of background character back in the first season, jumping up in the first season to being a major villain. You know, he's the one that held the knife to Ned Stark's throat. And now and now Arya cuts his throat with the same knife. It's fucking brutal, poetic, and beautiful. Speaking of bumping uglies, that was a beautiful moment. He tried to turn the Stark girls against each other, tried to turn Sansa and Arya against each other, and it failed spec-fucking-tacularly. His face when he thinks he's coming into the not the throne room hall, the Great Hall in Winterfell. He thinks he's coming in there to watch Sansa either kill or exile or do something to her sister Arya because he's set it up that way. Genius that he is. Evil genius that he is. And instead, Arya acts like she's about to be killed, death sentence. Get on with it, she says. And Sansa lists this litany of crimes, treason, and all these different horrible things. And she says, Lord Baelish, instead of how do you answer to this, Lord Baelish? And Aidan Gillen's face is fantastic. He's kind of sitting there. You see his eyes go wide, and he turns towards the girls like, what the fuck did you just say? It was fantastic. And seeing that character surprised, seeing Littlefinger surprised, befuddled. Oh my God. I can't speak to you. Feel free to chime in the comments. But I was I was at a coffee shop when I was watching it, but literally I was doing this, kind of looking behind me like, fucking yes. I was super excited. Had I been at home and the kids were asleep, I probably would have stood up on the couch. Like, I don't really follow sports. Anybody that knows me, family, friends, I don't really follow sports. I'm not really a sports guy. But I know enough about sports to know when there's a touchdown, you make this face and you put these arms up. And that's how I felt last night when Littlefinger got his fucking throat slit. It was a beautiful moment, executed again beautifully by Sansa, Arya, Sophie Turner, Maisie Williams. And let's not forget little Bran, who's now grown up to be the three-eyed raven. The hell is that kid's name? Where is he? Brandon Stark. Bran. It doesn't. I can't even find him. Not even listed in the main credits. There you are, Isaac Hempstead Wright. For him to come in as a three-eyed Reagan, that in itself would be frightening. The three-eyed Raven and basically nail the coffin shut on Baelish. To see Peter Baelish, Littlefinger crying and begging hurt a little bit. And in some ways, I felt bad for the guy. And then I remembered every fucking thing he did has been horrible. And it was nice for Sansa to make sure that the audience remembered all of that to bring everything up. How he killed their aunt, how he engineered the death of their uncle, John Aaron, how he started this whole fucking mess. Got their father, Ned, killed, got their mother, Catelyn, killed, got Sansa married off to the Boltons, and we remember how that turned out. And now here he is trying to turn sister against sister. And I'd like to think my sisters would do this, not to me, of course, I'm an angel, but to other assholes out there in the world, that they would find a way to come together instead of being torn apart, and instead literally cut the throat of somebody who was fucking over our family. I think I would just be Bran. I would be like, he did it. Yeah, so I thought it was, again, just a great moment. One of my top 5 moments from last night's episode. Number 3, the whole meeting between every fucking major character on the show, which I did not expect to see. I figured Jon Snow would show up, maybe Davos, probably Davos. I don't think I expected Sandor Clegane to be there. I don't think I expected Pod and Brienne and Bronn, let alone Cersei and Tyrion. I mean, fucking everybody. Everybody was in the scene. People from Missandei to Gregor Clegane, the Mountain, and his crazy fucked up looking eyes and his suit. Everybody was in this goddamn scene. Everybody. Like, literally, I've seen the behind the scenes video of the cast laughing and joking, and I'm like, that person hates that person for like 4 years now, and that person's here, and holy shit, it's that person. I know that the actors really had a lot of fun. They said it was the highlight of their years of being on set, that they all finally got to be in the same kind of area and scene together. So, and you could tell. I think being friends with each other, at least getting to know each other through the years from being on this show, I think they were able to be more free. Some of the looks that Cersei and Daenerys were giving each other, withering flowers. Like, if looks could kill, holy shit. And the look everybody gave Jon Snow when all he had to do was tell a little fucking lie, but he couldn't. He couldn't, because he's his father's son. He's Ned Stark's son. He could not lie. And everybody admitted, you should have lied, but God damn it, I respect you. And I think, I don't know, I can't speak for you guys. Like I said, let me know in the comments below. But I love that about Jon. I want to be Jon Snow. Who doesn't? Who doesn't want to be Jon Snow? Right to a fault. The man will not lie, and he has to seek honor. And he's humble enough to know that he's not always right. He tells Theon earlier that he hasn't always made the right decisions, but that he always tries to do the right thing, and that he, if he does go wrong, he tries to make up for it. And I think that's words to fucking live by. I think we could all use a little bit more of that. So again, all the characters, Jon, next time fucking lie, but we get it, man. You're straight shooter. I thought that was great. I thought the moments that it created, I thought them unleashing the white, the zombie for all intents and purposes, the White Walker. Technically, it's not a White Walker. It's a White Walker. It's a white. But unleashing that on Cersei, holy shit. Anybody else scared as fuck when that thing jumped out of the box and immediately went right for the fucking queen? It was badass. And Lena Headey did a fantastic job as Cersei, recoiling in fear. Everybody. Brienne, who is Miss, I'll fucking take on a goddamn bear. The Hound and a bear. And her fucking face was, what the fuck? As she watched Jon cut off arms and Sandor cutting the damn thing in half, and it's still moving around. Fucking Qyburn walking up and touching the hand. And I think somebody said it best when they said, find yourself someone that looks at you the same way Qyburn looks at that dead hand, that dead moving hand, because he was just like, I love you. I want you inside me. It was just all around fantastic moments in that scene. And again, the gathered cast, people that we've known for years as on the show, actors who've been on the same show for years and have never been in the same room. Fantastic. Earlier, I mentioned the Sansa and Arya, the Sophie Turner, Maisie Williams carpool video of the two of them just palling around, doing Ned Stark's voice, Sean Bean's voice. There's also a video from last year or 2 years ago. I think it was 2 years ago. It's Red Nose Day. It's Chris Martin from Coldplay trying to create it's all fake. It's all for fun. It's for Red Nose Day. It's for charity. But it's Chris Martin from Coldplay trying to bring all of the Game of Thrones actors together to do Game of Thrones the musical. So the guy who's the lead singer of Coldplay wrote a shit ton of songs for the actors to come in and sing. And it's got some fantastic moments. It's got Kit Harington singing Wildling instead of Wild Thing. Wildling, you make my heart sing. And it's just great. It's just great. Some of the moments they have are good, solid laughs because of how the characters on the show are versus how the characters in real life, or the characters in real life, the actors in real life act towards each other. Theon and Ramsay, the guy who tortured the shit out of Theon. You get those two actors in a room, and the first time they see each other, it's high drama. And then they get all happy and they hug each other, and it's really sweet to see that. But I think, there's the only thing I've seen outside of this episode and this scene from last night of multiple actors from different years of the show being in the same room together. I'll post it in the comments later. It's solid. It's good. If you haven't seen it, it's like 10 minutes. It's hilarious. You should check it out. Okay, so scene 4, or one of the best moments from last night, number 4, ice fucking dragon. Yeah, a dragon made of fucking ice. Well, not made of ice, but spitting ice. Blah, blah. Unbelievable. The White Walkers, specifically the Night King, killed and then captured one of Daenerys's dragons and turned it into a fucking white. So you've got a dragon with blue eyes spitting blue fire or cold fire, frost fire, ice dragon. I don't know what the fuck you want to call it. Either way, you see the Night King riding this thing. Somebody online today said it like a one of those horse rides, the little quarter rides they have outside of the grocery stores. You know the ones I'm talking about. This is the fucking dragons swooping in, and the Night King's just like. It was awesome. It was great to see him get those types of moments. That guy, the actor who plays the Night King, is seriously messed up. Like I don't know what it is about that guy, but every time the character's on screen, it gives me the fucking willies. Anybody else? Just me. Yeah, that guy. Vladimir Furdik is his name. He appeared, I think, 2 seasons ago before Bran, right after Bran went over the wall, or through the wall, under the wall, through the wall, into the north, and saw how the green people, the green men, I can't think of what the hell they're called, the first children. The green children, I don't know what the hell they're called. Doesn't matter. Before the first men, or he was one of the first men, and they turned him into the Night King. Like from that episode, that guy has been playing the Night King, and it's super fucking creepy. And super good, just good. But seeing that dragon come through the clouds, blowing blue fire, and then destroying the wall, people. The dragon destroyed the fucking wall. I think it was Viserion, the dragon, who was turned, blows his blue fire and just destroys the wall. And I don't know about the rest of you, but I was sitting like this the whole time. Again, I'm in the coffee shop. Because, holy fuck, the moment that we've been dreading for years, in some cases, if you read the book, decades, books, I should say, decades, has finally arrived. And those White Walkers and them whites are coming over the friggin' wall, which is not going to be good for next season. It's going to be great for us watching it, but shitty for the rest of the characters. This season was all about like getting to those big ass moments, getting rid of some of the smaller characters, the smaller moments, and instead people were making fun of the ability of the cast and crows to travel, or ravens, I should say, to travel from one side of Westeros to the other side in a few seconds. It didn't bother me. I think it was needed. Nobody wants to see 2 hours of people traveling. The first few seasons, we got enough of that, of the cast slowly trotting from here to there, to trudge, the slow, weary walk of one who's got nothing left to do but simply soldier on. So I think it's good that they sped it up and they just got us to where we needed to go. So the wall came down, giant ice dragon, fire dragon, ice dragon, I don't know what you want to call it, doesn't matter. Frost dragon. You heard it here first. Frost dragon. The last of my 5 holy shit moments from last night was definitely Bran and Sam Tarly talking. Somebody put it best when they said Bran saying, "I know everything," and someone knocks on the door and Bran's like, "Who is it?" Same thing. I know everything. I know that Jon isn't a snow, he's a sand, because he was born he's Rhaegar Targaryen's son. And then to have a bastard son, I should say, Rhaegar Targaryen's bastard son, and in Dorne they call them sand, not snow. I know everything. And then for Sam to say, no, he's not. I transcribe. Gilly did all the real work. I transcribed something written by a maester, the Grand Maester. I can't remember what his name is. The Archmaester. Sure, we'll go with that. That said that the marriage was annulled. His marriage to Elia was annulled, and instead he married Lyanna Stark. I think the revelation that Bran knows a lot, but Bran doesn't know everything, was fantastic. And I think we kind of saw bits and pieces of that. He creeped the fuck out of Sansa when he told her she looked beautiful on her wedding night because of what happened after the wedding. Fucking Ramsay. You got eaten by dogs, you son of a bitch, and you deserved every second of it. But I think knowing that Bran sees a lot but doesn't know everything is good. Because that means there's still going to be lots of surprises next season. It's not suddenly going to go. It's not suddenly going to get boring because we know everything that's going to happen, or Bran knows everything that's going to happen. It also doesn't mean that Bran's necessarily going to die because the dude can see everything and they have to get rid of him because somebody with that power is just fucking needs to be nerfed. But I think some of the revelations that came out of that, the fact that Jon is Aegon Targaryen and he's smashing with his aunt, the fact that Bran does not know everything, but he knows enough to cause trouble next season, I think is another solid holy shit moment. Those are my top 5. Let me know if I missed anything in the comments, either tonight or tomorrow or whenever. I would love to engage with you guys as far as what your top 5 moments, your top moment, your top 3. There's so much going on in this show now, and I couldn't be happier. Really quick, going back through the other episodes of the season. Arya, the very first episode of the season, Dragonstone. Arya as a faceless man, faceless person, faceless woman, faceless person. Yes, Arya as a faceless person, taking the place of Walder Frey, poisoning all of the other male Freys, and just being like, peace, bitches, the North remembers, was fucking amazing. Probably the best part of the first episode. Them showing Sam and his him adapting to life in Old Town, his routine, I thought was a great way to shoot it. It was almost Guy Ritchie-esque. If you've ever seen a Guy Ritchie movie, you know what I'm talking about. Really quick cuts, the same kind of things over and over again that make it seem like a lot of time has passed, even though your time is speeding up. The next episode, Stormborn, when Tyrion is trying to one up everybody as this master planner, and decides he's got the plan to really take over Westeros, and it doesn't work. Arya meeting Hot Pie, who's making hot pies and cookies, apparently. Stark cookies in real life now. I want one. Sam taking on oh God, what is his name? Jorah Mormont, Ian Glenn, awesome actor. Sam taking on his case to help cure him of grayscale, which again, if this was season 2, that shit would have taken 3 episodes to cure all of that, or a whole season of setup and then finally execution. But because it's season 6, that shit was done. They were like, okay, you got grayscale? Let's pop that shit off. It hurts. The next episode, totally fine. The next episode, the Queen's Justice. Daenerys burns alive Sam's father and brother because they won't bend the knee. Honorable guys, but also dumb move. Tyrion admonishes Daenerys because of it, that she could have done something else. But Daenerys, being a Targaryen, decides the best way to go is to use fire. And are you going to tell her otherwise? Because I'm not. The next episode, The Spoils of War. Dany takes matters into her own hands. Arya reaches her destination, Winterfell. Reunion! Again, the season just delivers unexpected terror and unexpected joy at the same time. Was anybody not happy when Arya and Sansa did a little run towards each other? It was super cute, super nice. The next episode, The Spoils of War. Eastwatch. Daenerys demands loyalty from the surviving Lannister soldiers. Oh, maybe that's the one where the Tarleys die. I may have jumped the gun a little bit. Damn you, Tarleys. Jon heeds Bran's warning about the White Walkers on the move. Cersei vows to vanquish anyone or anything that stands in her way. We see some of the main characters heading off to go beyond the wall. And we find Gendry, played by Joe Dempsey, who we haven't seen in like 5 fucking seasons. Gendry, who is the son of Robert Baratheon, who we haven't seen since season 1. He died before Ned Stark, Sean Bean's character in season 1. We saw him a long-ass time ago when Thoros of Myr and the Brotherhood of Banners sold him off to the Red Priestess because he had princely blood, or royal blood, king's blood, I don't know what the hell it's called, special blood. And she leeched his ass. It was pretty scary. And that dude just has been fucking rowing a boat for 5 years, apparently. There was so much laughter outside of the show about that moment, I guess the fact that we see Gendry kind of rowing off and then never see him again. People for years now have been saying he's still fucking rowing that boat, wondering if the show was going to pull him back in, and they finally did. And they did it in a big way. They showed him being a lot like his father, Robert. I don't think we saw him at all in this last episode, in episode 7. But he was great in Eastwatch, where he was introduced again, and then Beyond the Wall, he is apparently the fastest runner. Maybe that's what he was doing. He was still resting. That dude ran like 2 miles or 2 days run in like 5 minutes screen time. Fuck. When the White Walkers attacked in the next episode, Beyond the Wall, the White Walkers basically set up Jon and his team to capture one of, we think they set it up to capture one of Daenerys' dragons, and maybe kill off some of their enemy. But you see them tell Gendry, like, get the fuck back there and tell everybody what's going on. Tell them! And he's the fastest, so he takes off running. And what took them many minutes of the episode to accomplish, to get to arrive, to reach, that dude's fucking back in like 5 minutes of screen time. It was awesome. So yeah, Gendry is their Usain Bolt, I guess. Nice work, dude. And that brings us back to the Dragon and the Wolf. So the White Walkers have a dragon. They've crossed over the wall. They've destroyed a section of the wall at Eastwatch. Where the hell is Jormund Giantsbane? What am I saying? Tormund Giantsbane, played by Christopher Hivju. Everyone loves a little Tormund, right? Reshipping Tormund and Brienne. Lord knows I am, in a big fucking way. I love that in the Beyond the Wall episode, 2 episodes ago, Tormund and Sandor Clegane are sharing a little moment, and Tormund basically tells Sandor that, like, I got my eye on that one, referring to Brienne. I fucking love that moment. I think it's hilarious, because I think also that the Hound, Sandor, got beat by Brienne, and I think he's also hoping that Tormund faces the same fate. But I, along with I think everybody else, is wondering what the hell has happened to Tormund, as well as Beric Dondarrion, the leader of the Brotherhood of Banners. I think we saw them on the wall when Viserion, the Ice Dragon, and the Night King were destroying it. We didn't see them die, so I'm assuming they made it off. I think we can all probably agree they probably made it off. Okay, probably. But we won't know. We won't know. So the Night King has a dragon. He's destroyed the wall. The Whites are coming over the wall. Dany and Jon are getting together. I'm trying to move my eyebrows. Is that working pretty well? I feel like it's kind of working. Something about Tyrion. Tyrion knows something. There's speculation that Tyrion made some kind of a deal with Cersei, that he realizes she's pregnant. He just gets done talking about how much he feels sorry about her kids, and he loved her children. And then it cuts away when he finds out that she's pregnant. So and then Cersei comes back to the meeting before, where she had stormed out because Jon said he wouldn't bend the knee, that he'd already bent it to Daenerys. She comes back and says, all right, this common enemy is our common enemy. Let's fucking go for it. So a lot of people are speculating that Tyrion made some kind of deal with her, and it makes sense that they cut away from it, and that might be the end result, that we'll find out about it in season 7. What that deal was, who knows? But the idea that Tyrion's hiding something, the idea that there's, at the end of the episode when Jon and Dany are going at it on the ship, the love boat as they're calling it, he looks very concerned. and the only thing people are assuming is it's because he made some kind of deal with Cersei, and now if he's got to kill Jon, or if he's got to tell Jon to stay out of it, there's no fucking way Jon's going to stay out of it now that they're in love, or something to that effect. So the setup of it is fantastic going into season 7. The last part of the episode wasn't really a what the fuck episode, a what the fuck moment for me. It didn't make my top 5 because I think everybody's been waiting for it to happen, but in an annoyed way, and not in a yes, but I think kind of like finally, fucking asshole. But the guy who plays Jaime Lannister, Nikolaj Coster-Waldau, finally gives up on Cersei and realizes she's crazy. She basically backs out of her deal with Daenerys, and he says, "Nah, I'm out. I'm not gonna stand here and watch you do this. I'm not gonna be a part of this shit anymore. I don't care if you're pregnant." The wall, the Whites and the Nightwalkers coming from the north is our biggest threat. If you want to fucking deal with your little clashes down here, your clashes of kings, your Game of Thrones, them thrones, y'all, that's fine. Go ahead. I'm going to go help these honorable motherfuckers save the rest of the entire world. Again, it didn't list it in my top 5 moments because I think we all wanted it to happen. It didn't, and it was frustrating. I think last night when it did happen, it was like, yes, finally, okay, yes, and it was more exasperated than a Littlefinger dies moment. So, but anyway, he's now joining them up north. I'm wondering how that's going to go. If you've got, I mean, everybody's gonna be there. It's gonna be so much fun. But all of the Starks, Brienne, Pod, you're gonna have Tyrion, Dany, all of her folks, Jorah. They're all heading north to fight the White Walkers and the Whites. So, speculation time. What the fuck is the rest of the South part going to be doing that whole time? Cersei made it known that she was, again, not holding up her end of the deal, that she is going with, what the hell is his name? Theon's brother, another Greyjoy. I can't remember his name. Asshole Greyjoy. I got nothing. Fudge. What is his name? Doesn't matter. Anyway, the bastard Greyjoy, not literally, but the asshole Greyjoy. Euron. Euron Greyjoy. Sorry, everybody. I'm a moron. Moron for Euron. Euron didn't leave during the meeting when he saw the White come at Cersei, that he's going back under her orders to get the Golden Company from Essos, which is like 20,000 dudes with horses and weapons. They're a paid company. They're mercenaries, and he's going to bring them back on his ships to fight for Cersei. So the problem, I guess not really a problem, but I don't know what the fuck they're going to do. Theon got his balls back, metaphorically, and is going after his brother Euron because he kidnapped his sister Yara, and he's just a dick. So Theon's going after them. I don't know if Theon's going to have a big battle in the sea with Euron and the Golden Company, if the Golden Company's going to make it. I think there's only 6 episodes next season, so maybe that's 1 episode or half of 2 episodes. I expect a lot of deaths from the White Walkers. Let me know in the comments who you absolutely do not want to see die, who you are hoping will die. I think I'm still hoping for Clegane Bowl, Sandor versus his brother, finally, versus Gregor, the giant mountain. I'm looking forward to that battle, and they alluded to it in last night's episode. The 2 guys, this isn't how you die, brother. Sandor tells Gregor, you know how you die. It's always been the same. Basically threatening him and telling him, I'm coming for you, bro. Anyway, they've set up season 7 beautifully. I don't know what's going to happen, and that's exciting. I think we're at a point now where, again, we expected a lot of this stuff to happen. We expected Jon to be revealed as a Targaryen. What that means when Jon and Dany find out that they're related to anyone else? Game of Thrones. Especially when you're a Targaryen. It's in the family blood. I don't know how Jon's going to react to that, Mr. Honor. But he and another Targaryen, another Aegon? I can't remember what his name was. He was at the wall. Old dude at the wall. The old maester. Somebody help me out. Probably an Aegon. But he told the story of Rhaegar back in the day and basically said that, Rhaegar caused all these problems for love, choosing the love of a woman. And I wonder if Jon, being honorable, and Jon, nothing, Jon Snow, is going to do the right thing or finally maybe keep doing the wrong thing, if you know what I mean. His aunt, talking about sex. It's again, I don't know what's going to happen. I'm extremely excited. If you have thoughts, if you have concerns about who might make it, who might not make it, or your own ideas as for what's going to happen, please let me know. Shoot me a message, Joe Holt on Facebook. I think I'm actually Joe Holt PHX, just FYI. Or here on TuneIn Geek Out or in the comments. I'd love to hear from you guys. I know some of the other fellows who are working with me on TuneIn Geek Out have not been watching Game of Thrones, so they'll be useless. But anybody else, Jamel, Mike, Patrick, I know y'all been keeping up with them Thrones. Hop on in and let me know. Anyway, guys, thank you so much. We just hit the 46-minute mark. I appreciate you guys spending time with me. Again, this has been a spoiler-filled recap of Game of Thrones Season 7. I'm Joe Holt, and this has been Tune In Geek Out. See you next time.